stop right there. I know you're about to skip ahead. I have an important message. 1 second. I'll make it quick. I need your help. Later this week, the voting for the Streamer Awards closes. And this year, I got nominated for Marvel Rivals Streamer of the Year. If you enjoy my content and you enjoy these videos that get put out, I would truly appreciate it if you ended up voting for me. And if you don't, at least vote for one of the other GOATs that is nominated. But if you don't, I'll put your favorite hero in F tier. Don't test me. And if you do, I'll put your favorite hero in S tier. Or I'll do the reverse if you're one of those people who wants their character in F so they get buffs. Regardless though, thanks so much for always supporting me. Appreciate you. Whatever YouTubers say, like, subscribe, whatever. Don't skip to the end. I'm warning you. And thanks so much as always. I'll see you again tomorrow. All right, it's time. Chat. A little, like I was just saying, a little late to the game this season. Normally I put these out at the week, like 1 week, exactly 1 week later. And sometimes I even do it earlier, but I did it late this time because I think that a lot of the early predictions ended up being different. And I think within the first few days, things changed a lot. And this is probably the biggest meta shift that we've seen so far in Rivals, maybe outside of season 1 to season 2 meta, where they just buffed all the really annoying heroes like your Mr. Fantastic and like Iron Fist and stuff, if you remember that meta. All right, starting off, Angela. So Angela received multiple buffs, and so you would think Angela is better. I actually think Angela is significantly worse than she was last season. And my reason for that is that, one, there is much more CC prevalent all of a sudden in the meta. We'll get through all of them in a second. Mr. Fantastic has insane CC now, now that he's buffed, and like he basically got a CC buff the previous season, but he was ass, so no one played him. So Fantastic can deal with a lot of that. Mantis is getting a lot of play. Invis got more buffs, is insane. Gambit's insane. In terms of other CC heroes, like a lot of the tanks that are really meta right now, like your Emmas, your like, I wouldn't say Thing is meta, but Thing is like pretty decent, are really good at shutting her down. And the big one being honestly Invis. That one kind of like dominates poor Angela. So I actually am gonna bump Angela down, and this could even be a little too high. This might even be a little too high, TBH, but we'll see as the list goes on. So Angela is probably one of the biggest losers so far this season, at least in my opinion. Next up is Strange, who I also think is a bit of a loser this season. There's almost no reason to play him over other things other than just to TP back, and it's better to leave him open for your teammates to TP back. If you're the only reason you would play Strange right now is if they have a really good Hawkeye player and you play double shield Mag Strange because Emma's banned, and even so you'd have to have really good DPS players yourself to like just buy a little bit of extra time to maybe stop him. So Strange for me is also kind of taking a bit of a hit. Now this is where things get real interesting. So if you played the first couple days of the season, Groot was a permaban. Like people were banning Groot every single game. After the first 2 days or 3 days, people realized there's too many things that are too strong and it's not worth banning. And so I have not seen Groot banned a single time since, you know? Groot actually is pretty damn good, but I wouldn't say he's top tier. I'd say he's probably about an A though. He's definitely better than Angela, definitely better than Strange. The problem with Groot though is Gambit. Like your Groot ult is basically useless now. Gambit, if he knows what he's doing, knows that you have an ult coming up soon and just saves 2 cards and cleanses the Groot ult. And so your Groot ult is just gone. But if Gambit's banned, Groot's probably the best tank. Like number 1 or number 2. Like he dominates if Gambit is banned. But Gambit's not really banned that often. It's hard to say, I guess. But yeah, even though Groot's still high up there, he's just, if Gambit's in the game, like don't even pick him. Like you can pick him, but it depends on what's banned. The only times I've picked Groot really is if they have a Peni or if Gambit's banned. That's pretty much it. Thor's interesting because I think Thor is fine for what he is, but the power creep just caught up with him. Like everyone got buffed this season. So like I've played Thor on like the 2 or 3 maps that I think Thor is really good on and he's done really well, but picking him game in and game out has been a little bit tough. I also haven't forced it, but I also don't see Thor players every single game either. The big picks we haven't even got to just yet. But I don't think that means he's bad. I don't think he's bad at all in any way, shape, or form. So we'll see. Venom, is this gonna be crazy? I think Venom is kind of fallen off a little bit. Again, with all of the hard CC that's popped up and all the power creep that's also popped up, you need really good coordination or Mantis boost, and you're not really getting those things. And if you are playing dive, there's a super America man that's in the room that's just better in a lot of ways. So you just pick that guy instead. Anti-heal was a much bigger deal last season, but now it's manageable. I feel like everyone has anti-heal now, right? Like literally everyone has anti-heal. There's like 4 characters that have anti-heal now. It's kind of crazy. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I think Emma is undisputably still the best tank in the game, and it's not close. Every game I get into and they don't ban Emma, I pick Emma, I win game. If they pick Emma, obviously it's harder, but people have Emma fatigue. They really just have Emma fatigue at this point. I'm convinced that's what it is. I think people have Emma fatigue. I think they're tired of playing Emma, so people don't play Emma because they want to play the more fun tanks. And so if you are willing to be bored, quote unquote, and play the same hero that you've been probably forced to play for the last 4 seasons, then you'll win most of your games. She eats Groot alive. She eats Venom alive. She eats Thor alive. She eats Mag alive. She eats Thing like as like a little snack. She helps a lot with Cap. Hulk isn't getting seen a lot. We'll get there in a sec. She kind of eats up Strange quite a bit. She kind of eats everybody, especially in the other tank roles. And then if you're talking the DPS, like some of the ones that are really strong right now, like who's like strong but not overly strong? Like Iron Fist, I say is strong but not overly strong. You eat his ass up. You slam his ass on the ground. You go boom, 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 and he explodes. So it is what it is. All right, this is where I think we get real controversial. So I think early in the season, the 2 things happened. When the patch got dropped, everyone thought Thing stocks through the moon. Then we all played Thing. We're like, holy shit, this character blows. But after like 4, 5, 6 days, I actually low-key think he's pretty damn good. In 2 scenarios, specifically. Technically 3. 1, Emma is banned. Number 2, last fight situations. AKA, your team is teleporting back to point and everyone's fighting on the point 99 and 99. Why is that? Because Thing only thrives now when he actually hits punches. And so Thing has 3 things, right? There's 3 forms of fighting, right? There's close range, there's mid range, there's long range. Thing legitimately does nothing in mid range or long range. And he can't even build shields to survive. He's just cooked. You can only jump to your teammates. And like, that's really not that useful. And jumping to enemies is not useful, like in that case. So you only are really good when you're playing in the close brawls, which is like overtime, last fight scenarios. Or the other one is Emma's banned and they're playing hard dive. And if they're playing super hard dive, especially on like control maps, you just understand that you're just E-bot, you E-bot to your backline constantly, and you just right-click the cap. Because the cap's going to be there every time. It's always a cap and an Iron Fist, or a Daredevil, or something like that. Psylocke doesn't really work on. But Daredevil, Iron Fist, Fantastic, Cap, Venom, Hulk, Mag if he ends up being there. I'm trying to think. Who else goes in that category? Magik. Magik less so, but Magik as well. Spidey technically, but not really. You're not going to really hit him. Blade as well, but you don't see a whole lot of Blade right now. He actually rolls all of them, but what you lose is like the traditional ones. Psylocke, Star-Lord, Punisher, Bucky, all of the Wolverine he does okay with too. He actually works in those situations. If you legitimately BP, okay, nobody plays BP, guys. I'm gonna be real with you. No one's playing BP. Even BP though, it's like you just have to hit the shift, and like that was no different than his previous gameplay loop. He's actually a lot better than people think. That's my sleeper pick of the season. Pick him in those 3 situations. They have hard dive, Emma's banned, or last fight scenarios. Do it. The other golden child of the season, Magneto, where Magneto got a new cool buff. He actually got 2 buffs. One is that he has 2 bubbles now, a projected bubble and a self bubble, which is phenomenal, and also has the swords, which you get every game because everyone's playing Gambit. So you have a new button to press and it does big damage. Although everybody, myself included, kind of wastes it too often, so as people get better at it, it's going to be even scarier. I'm just glad that Mag just feels more fun to play. I was so sick of like the boring mag gameplay where you're gonna sit there and just don't bubble anything because you're waiting for someone to not die. But you can actually kind of like be aggressive and like bubble yourself out and then look for teammate bubble. So it's like, it's great. It's actually a good change. Peni Parker. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna do it. I don't give a This demon is A tier. I'm throwing it in the A. And I want you to listen to me why. Not every map, not every game, not every Peni player, but you get a map like that Squirrel Girl, like the Squirrel map, you know what I'm talking about, like the vampire map. You talk the Venom map, most unbeatable thing in the game. Most unbeatable shit, Clintar, most unbeatable shit you've ever seen. That shit is evil. Genuinely evil. Actual evil monstrosity. And it's kind of funny. I saw it early on, the bands that I constantly saw were Groot, Emma, Mag, Peni. Over time, it's evolved to Emma Peni. Those are the only two tank bans I ever see anymore. Is on certain maps you ban Peni, and on everything else you can ban Emma. But honestly, it's mostly DPS bans. But I'm just gonna say, if you know what you're doing with Peni on those maps, and they don't ban Peni, and you play Peni on it, you probably will win most of your games. Straight up, you'll win most of your games. It's actually disgusting. Hulk. I hate to be that guy, but I think Hulk's right down here right now with Thor. I think he's been power crept to all hell. He did get that buff where his right click, the more people it hits, his shield comes back online faster, which is something. He doesn't have enough survivability or pressure to play dive. Doesn't have enough damage to really like be threatening like Mag or Emma. And so he's kind of like middle ground. You know, the only time he's really any scary or has any kind of scary power is during his ult. And then if you have like an Emma on your team, you're just gonna absolutely cook his shit. Like, you ever watched a Hulk player jump in on an Emma? Did you see what happens? He literally just gets turned into like a cute little puppy and gets thrown into the corner, and he just can't do anything. You know, you get slept, frozen, invis pushed, choke slammed, kicked into the wall. That's it. It's over. GR. So yeah, poor Hulk, kind of has fallen behind. And then Cap, I gotta throw Cap in the A tier for sure. I think Cap's probably the best of the dive tanks right now. Angela, I think, is subjective sometimes with how good she can be. I think where she ends up thriving is a lot of times is just being able to kidnap people. But the power creep has been so high this season that you really can't get away with it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. Is what it is. Cap's really good. Probably the best dive tank for you to pick this season. The new buff on his ultimate is crazy good. But yeah, the tank man is real strange. It's weird where all the tanks feel somewhat viable, again, just like last season, but there is very clearly a winner. Or two winners. There's very clearly two winners. It's Emma and it's Mag. It doesn't have to be Emma Mag though every game. Like, you can play games of Emma Peni, Emma Cap, Mag Cap, Emma Groot, Mag Groot, right? Like those things, like all those things work really, really well. But man, even without their team up, they're still getting paired right next to each other. Next up, BP. BP kind of blows. BP kind of blows a little bit. The only thing that I think makes him okay sometimes is the Hulk bubble. And even that like means you have to play Hulk. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. No, I'm not. He still destroys in like the middle ranks. He's like every Smurf player's wet dream. You know what I mean? And I bet he probably still has at the end of the season. I bet at mid-season when they release player numbers, I bet he probably still has top 3 highest win rate in the whole game from like bronze to plat. You know what I mean? He probably is, if not number 1 or number 2 behind Peni and Magik. So it's hard for me to just throw him all the way in the dumpster. Is what it is. Blade. Blade's interesting because I've only seen a couple Blade players and they do well, but they're just better things to pick. And I really had hopes from last season. I really, really did, especially with all the changes they gave him. But the only thing that I've seen where it's really like scary is the Groot combo, like where you just Groot Blade combo. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna actually throw him down here as well. Is he better than BP? No, not really. Not really. That's tough. Moving on to Daredevil. So Daredevil, I would say, has been permabanned at almost every game. He's getting played either every game or banned every game if you don't have a Daredevil player. So there's a few games I've had where I felt kind of powerless versus insane Daredevils, but this is actually where I found the Thing was actually pretty decent. Playing Thing or Emma. So like if Emma's available, playing Emma, but if Emma wasn't available, playing Thing. And Thing actually was kind of a little bit. It actually helps out quite a bit because Thing's right click now does damage based on health. So Daredevil has a lot more health than like your average DPS. And so you're doing more damage to him every time you hit. You know what I mean? So it's actually not bad. All right, hot take. It's time for hot takes time. You guys ready for hot takes time? Potentially the most oppressive character in the game. First, it's not every game. It's not every game. But if you play against someone who actually has good aim and your team is not playing dive, that little shit is the server admin. You have to, if they have one really good Hawkeye player, you have to make multiple swaps to stop him. You need to pull out the Cap. You need to pull out the Psylocke / the Fantastic / the Daredevil. Actually wouldn't be a bad call. And Star-Lord, Star-Lord, he kind of gets rolled a little bit by him. I'm trying to think who else. Star-Lord, I guess, but like not really at the same time. You want to have like those little, like slightly beefier targets. Phoenix, no. Hela's better than Phoenix right now, but regardless. That guy. Speaking of that guy, Hela, I think also is up there. I think Hela is also debatably one of the best DPS in the game right now. Getting banned almost every single game, either to kill the Namor team up, if your team wants to play dive, or because just if you have a really good Hela player, they take over the whole lobby. Similar to Season 0 / Season 1. Very consistent, does crazy damage. Nothing else has been changed there. Not much else to say. This might be crazy La La Land. I'm putting Torch in F-tier. I think that guy actually legitimately got taken out back and shot 16 times by Guang Guang. Guang Guang legitimately shot that guy back both of his knees and then literally dumped a mag on his forehead. That guy is legitimately gone. And everyone asked for it, and everyone asked for it. You gotta at least wait a few more seasons before you bring him back. You know? That's it. You don't see him anywhere. He's executed. He legitimately got killed. He got hit by a bus. He literally got hit by a bus, fell off a cliff on the front of that bus, hit the ground, got sucked into the ground, went into the core of the earth, disintegrated in the core of the earth, and then the earth got sucked into the sun, which then got sucked into a black hole. That's pretty much what happened to him. Iron Fist. I actually think Iron Fist is pretty damn good. I actually think he's really damn good. I'm gonna give him the A. He's annoying. He's strong. If you have a really good Iron Fist, you have the two types of Iron Fist. 3 types of Iron Fist. You have that guy who's just like running at your team in which everybody sees him and he explodes. The other guy who just goes and just punches his way up to the ceiling and you like watch him leave your team and you're like, oh, where's this bitch going? Like, you know what I mean? And you're like, what the f do you about that? Right? And then there's 3, the Demon. Where like, even though you're behind him trying to stop him from like with a CC, he somehow blocks forward, knows that you're behind him trying to hit him, like senses it with his chakra, blocks, stops your CC, and then kills your whole team. And it's just like, okay, well, what do I do about that? Iron Man. Iron Man is kind of iron right now. I like Iron Man a lot too. He's so slow. He's just like a big cannon. And with mag so prevalent, the only thing he's really good at is ulting. And dude, I got some notorious Iron Man player on my team the other day, and apparently he's like awful, and he's just known on the ladder just being an awful Iron Man one trick who only ints Iron Man every game and like shit talks everyone. And it was such a miserable experience. I watched this guy literally getting dunked on like mid-air every time. Like so much that he stopped ulting. It was bad. I don't know. No. It was so bad. No, not Keezy. It was someone else. I don't know what I don't remember the guy's name. But like, man. Oh, it was miserable. Poor guy was like 4-9, just shit talking the enemy team the entire time. And I'm like, dude, you gotta stop. Like, this is ass. Like, you're killing us here, man. You're killing us. And yeah, so like, he's just kind of ass. All right, Magik. I don't know. I know Magik's probably gonna have the highest win rate in the game, probably again. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. I never really see any really insane Magic players. And when I do see them, I'm able to stop them. I can play Cap and run their backline down. I can play Thing. I can play Emma. I can play Mag, and I can just stop them from doing all these things that, like, maybe in other games, like, they just don't have a tank player that just turns to stop them. But, like, I don't have a hard time dealing with Magic. I don't have a problem. Like, when I play against a Magic player, unless they are the best player of all time, I have no problem. I just deal with it. You know? And so I wonder if in, like, a lot of ranked games where if you don't have a tank player who does that, right, you probably get absolutely annihilated. You know what I mean? But she probably will have the highest win rate in the game. I guarantee it. She's probably going to be top 3 across all ranks. I don't know why. Just what it is. All right, this is where we're going to get into the interesting shit. So I've played against multiple Mr. Fantastic players, and I've had multiple Mr. Fantastic players either beg me to put him in S tier or beg me to put him in F tier. The F tier ones want me to put him in F tier so that people won't ban him anymore. And people in S tier want to be able to have him in S tier so they can brag about him being in S tier and also talk about, like, you know, just be like how good he is. I'm not going to do either of those things. I do think he's really good, though. I think he's a bit of a menace. He is mid. I don't think he's mid. I don't think he's mid, but I don't think he's insane. I think he's probably the borderline between a B+ and an A-. He's like right here. This alone, I'm not joking, caused me a 7-minute overtime the other day. 7 minutes of fighting the same fight. I built 4, almost, I was 98 to 5 full Emma ults from 0. So anyways, I do think he's actually maybe even closer to A, if I'm honest with you. But I don't, this upper tier is going to be so, like, this is going to probably be one of the most stacked upper level tier lists of all time because everyone got buffed this season. Like, what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, everyone got buffed this season. Like, there's going to be a big divide of either people are shit or they're really good. It's hard to be anywhere else, right? Because, like, everyone's still playable. Like, for example, Star-Lord. Star-Lord's insanely still good. Like, he's still very good, but he's not dominant like some of these other heroes, but he's still Star-Lord, who's, like, his kit is so well designed. You know what I mean? So, Moon Knight. I'm gonna be real with you, chat. Moon Knight is probably one of the best DPS in the game. I think he's easily one of the best DPS in the game. I'm hesitant to put him in S tier, though, because I'm looking here at S tier, and I think Daredevil, Hawkeye, Hela are maybe stronger. But I think there's also a world where I think he could deserve being next to Hela. I don't think he's Daredevil Hawkeye tier, but he's more consistent than Hawkeye. So, like, I'm kind of considering it. I'm really thinking about it. I think he's legitimately disgusting. And nobody bans him. Yeah, nobody bans him. Let me think on that one as we keep going. This might actually get changed up, but if you're wondering why, basically Moon Knight can do a few things. One, just onking your backline and double right-clicking, someone explodes. He's arguably, I would say, the fastest charging ult in the game, especially if you have teams that run these heavy tank goats comps where you have 2 tanks and a fantastic, right? He has ult in like 15 seconds. I played a game the other day. Where a Moon Knight literally built 2 Moon Knight ults. 2 Moon Knight ults before anyone on our team was above 85% ult charge. I'm not with you. He ulted us twice before anyone was at 85. Supports as well. That guy's kind of crazy. All right, let's move on. Namor. Namor is still very strong. I think without the Hela team up, though, he's like low-key really ass. Almost very similar to like season 0/season 1 Namor when you didn't have Luna team up. However, though, with dive being prevalent, I wouldn't say it's a hard meta, but it's like, there's like 2 metas that are going on at the same time. There's like a hard poke meta, which is like your Hela Hawkeye, and then there's the dive meta, which is like your Daredevil, Captain America, Psylocke / Star-Lord / Fantastic / like other things like all in your backline as fast as they can. And they're both really strong. And if you're playing against it, like you need options to try to fight against it. Namor is a decent option. So he's pretty damn good. without the Hela team up, he's kind of ass. So I'd probably say A is pretty fair. Phoenix. Phoenix isn't bad. Like, she's still strong. Like, I'd argue she's actually still really strong. Just Hela's just so much better. But if Hela's banned and you really need a hit scan, she's still strong. She's still good. I would say where Phoenix thrives is if there's a Groot or a Rocket. No, you guys are saying D and C. You guys, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you have lost your marbles. Like, legitimately lost your marbles. This is like season 3 Hela situation where B is even low, right? Where like B would be like low where I was putting Hela back then, and I was like, it's just not her meta. Phoenix is 10 times better, right? So Phoenix is still strong. Oh, Penny too, yeah. Penny, they have a Penny in the lobby, Groot in the lobby, Rocket in the lobby. Phoenix gets massive value, insanely good value. Hela's just better. That's it. Psylocke. Psylocke's really damn good. Psylocke's still really damn good, especially because Emma's still getting played a lot. Yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Ult alone. On ult alone, it's an S. I want to be able to put these two together. Okay. So for those who are watching, obviously the people who skip to the end of this shit aren't gonna know, but you'll know. Daredevil's probably the strongest. Psylocke's probably the weakest, but you play the two of these together. So if you're playing like these all-in dive comps, these both end up being super strong, right? I don't want to put them next to each other because I don't want to say that they're the same, like they're close to the same level of power, but they're not. They're all at the top, but they're a little different, you know what I mean? So it's like Hela, Hawkeye are much closer together than these two are. Psylocke is 100% stronger. Yeah, that's crazy. That's actual crazy man hours. Crazy man hours. I respect being able to be a crazy man on the internet publicly, but crazy man hours. Yeah, let's just. Do we even need to say anything? Thoughts? Anyone want to raise their hand and disagree? Any disagreeers? No? Okay, moving on. All right, Spidey. So Spidey got a bunch of buffs. I've actually seen a lot of Spideys in my games, surprisingly enough. And I can tell when my support players are shit because they don't know how to deal with Spidey anymore. They forgot. Straight up. They literally just forgot. And I feel bad for them, but like at the same time, like, man, is it annoying. Like you hear them screaming for Peel, and I'm like, dude, Spidey's like not that hard to deal with, even with the buffs. Like maybe the first like 2 or 3 days just to like remember what it's like to play against him and like remembering the gameplay loop, but it's not that good. Like the buffs were good. They did make him better. But what the problem is everyone else got so much better this patch that even with those buffs, I wouldn't say it got him very far. You can still play him. And I see a lot of people playing him at the moment, but it doesn't, I don't think it's a good time. I think they're probably not having a fun time. And I think there's so many things that shut you down. For example, Emma, Mag, Hawkeye, Hela, Penny, Moon Knight technically, actually, if you time the on-crop properly. Namor. Phoenix is pretty decent at it. Thing for sure. Fantastic for sure. And then that's probably it. I mean, I guess Hulk, you're really pushing it at that point. And then we haven't gotten into the supports and stuff. So like the supports is like where the scary man hours get into, you know? All right, Squirrel. I know Squirrel got buffed this season. She got put back to where she was before this last season where they nerfed her damage. But like, she's really not very good. Everyone's buffed to the moon. Honestly, you guys are all seeing C, and I think you're crazy thinking C. Like, the only reason I mean this with all love is I think the reason why you think of anything higher than D is because like you're playing in a rank where everyone just stands there and you're just eating every single nut to the dome. You know what I mean? Like, you have to hit all of your shots to feel any kind of impact on Squirrel, and everyone's buffed so hard. Unless you are hitting every single shot, you're probably not doing anything. And then even if you do hit every single shot, it doesn't do much. Farm ult fast? Yeah, but the ult isn't really that scary. You know what I mean? Like Moon Knight, I would argue Moon Knight builds ult much faster than Squirrel Girl. If you hit every Moon Knight shot, sorry, you don't even have to hit every Moon Knight shot. Moon Knight shots are easier to hit, I'd argue, than Squirrel Girl shots. And you build ult way faster and it's way scarier. I think at absolute most. And this is a stretch. I was actually going to put her in F. But I think there's one other character that's going to go in F. So Squirrel is definitely better than that. So you'll get a D. All right, Star-Lord. I think Star-Lord's an easy A. I've actually been playing a lot of Star-Lord. It's been my DPS backup pick, but I can tell when there's big gaps between like Hela, Psylocke, Daredevil, and it's like, man, I can't do anything. Flats, I will vote for you for Streamer Awards if you promise to buff Witch like Boger did. Well, hang on. 2 things. 1, that means you probably already told Boger you'd vote for him if he promised Witch's buffs. 2, I'm also not going to fucking lie to you. Hell no. You're not getting any Witch buffs. And the reason why you're not going to get any Witch buffs beyond anything that's like very small is because it's perceived as a low skill character. And unfortunately, the kit just doesn't line up. So you have a character like Emma that has such an insanely designed kit, has gotten nerfed tons of times and is still super strong. A character with a super basic kit like Wanda's, is you can't buff it without just making it brain dead easy. So, you know what? Hey, I want your vote, but I ain't gonna lie to you. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, Storm. So, Storm's actually pretty decent, but I don't think it gets played that much in ranked. This is probably maybe a pro play pick, I would argue, but still very solid. Probably, if I got to look at all the pick rates of the game right now, I would say it's probably Storm's probably bottom 2, bottom 3 pick rate of the whole game. For some reason, people just don't like picking Storm unless she's like OP. But if you like playing Storm and like you genuinely enjoy the gameplay experience, I bet you would climb pretty hard. I think she's pretty damn good. Punny. Maybe a bit of a hot take, but I think Punisher's kind of fallen off a little bit. I don't think he's as useful. Like, everyone got buffed so hard. Like, like, all the tank sustainability got buffed this season, pretty much. A lot of the healing got buffed. Punisher just does the same amount of damage. He's just an ult bot. Like, if you don't kill everybody with your ult, he kind of doesn't really do a whole lot at the moment. Or just you sit there shotgunning, and it's like, even the shotgunning is not that hard to deal with. Like, it is hard to deal with. You just have to be aware, you know? And his turret got absolutely annihilated, you know? So it is what it is. Bucky. So Bucky, I would say, is in the S tier. This is one of those characters that gets banned every game. Not every game. It's one of the bans. If I had to go through the bans of every game, in my games, the bans every game are Emma, Daredevil, Hela, Psylocke, Bucky, and then we'll get to the supports in a second. Gets played almost every single game if he doesn't get banned. Really good versus, like, it shuts down dive with like every single ability, does big damage. If they have a Loki, you're big farming. But he's also been strong for a while, so I guess I probably don't have to explain too much. Wolverine got buffed this season pretty damn hard. I think he's back to the scary tank killer he once was. If they have a good Wolverine player. The only thing that's nice is that Groot isn't fodder anymore. As long as your wall is up, you can't get kidnapped, which is nice. But I would say Wolv is a bit of a necessary evil at the moment to keep hard stacking tank comps from taking over. Even so, I don't think he's like, if you do like Mag, Emma, Fantastic, he's actually not that good into it, weirdly enough. Like, he's decent, right? But weirdly enough, he's not, like, you would think he'd just eat the enemy team alive. He doesn't. Like, you struggle a little bit. You can make it work, but it struggles. And then last but not least of the DPS characters, you have Black Widow. And let's be honest with ourselves, this is an F tier. But I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to me very closely. Marvel Rivals, Guang, anyone who may potentially be listening, guys, I think you are onto something. I think it's time to change Black Widow into a support. I think you have the sauce. I think you could do it. Here's the problem. Black Widow is a sniper character. Sniper characters in hero shooters are notoriously very difficult. They're impossible to balance because there's one of two things happens. You either give them a one shot and they're hard to play against, not fun to play against, or you take away the one shot and they're ass. The reason why Black Widow is F tier this season is because you need a Phoenix to enable the support healing team up thing. You don't have a Phoenix every game. You're not going to even have it that often. And even so, right, the healing on it is good, but you don't have the rest of the kit. Like you don't have all the other support characters' kits, which would be nice. You could make it kind of nice, right? A sniper support could be kind of fun for a character that has been considerably worst win rate, worst pick rates in the game for 5 straight seasons, right? And I know there's going to be people out there that go like, no, I like Black Widow. Do you? Are you an actual Black Widow main? How many games have you gotten flamed at these days? Because if you sit there and you tell me, oh, I win all my games, where are you? Because you would be in my rank by now, and I don't see you very often. I know all 3 of the Widow players that exist, and you're probably not one of them, right? So it's like, I would rather the hero be playable and be fun and be something that people can actually enjoy, because especially like a lot of the things around these characters is like people enjoy the character too, right? Like, I won't lie, when I played in God of War this week, one of the spoiler alert for God of War Ragnarok, one of the earliest fights within the first 20 minutes of the game is you do a fight versus Thor. You fight Thor, and I'm like, what the why am I fighting Thor? But everyone's making jokes in chat, you know, about the God of Thunder. And it's funny because it's like the connection to the character as opposed to just the kit. Black Widow, in this case, I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably like the character, like the IP, but they can't play the character because she's buns, like super buns cheeks. So if you had a chance to make the character playable and make it fun for everyone, why not take it? That's all. All right, moving on to supports. Adam isn't bad, but he's not good. Power creep, unfortunately, has overtaken him. And I like Adam a lot, but I think he really only works in triple support. And unfortunately, triple support is really not that prevalent outside of playing instead Jeff comps or playing Mantis, Gambit, Invis. So unfortunately, I would love Adam to be higher, but it's hard to put him much higher than this because he's just been power crept. I like Adam, but you know, it is what it is. Cloak and Dagger. I don't think Cloak and Dagger is that strong right now, but not bad either. Like, she's just okay middle of the pack. She's just okay middle of the pack. Maybe, well, hang on, let me look at the rest of this list. No, I think this is fair. Yeah, if tell me, what is, I want you, for all those that are going S, A, S, A, S, you tell me, what does Cloak and Dagger do better than the rest of the supports on here? I'll wait. Survive? You think she survives better than everyone else on this list? She's hot? Okay, that's a decent answer. But like, survive? Let me introduce you to Invis, Gambit, Jeff, Rocket. I'm just saying. Also, don't forget Big Bad Magneto, one of the most picked tanks in the game right now. Arguably Cloak and Dagger's worst nightmare. It is what it is. Moving on to Gambit, the newest support in the game, aka the best support in the game, if not the second best support in the game. And let me tell you, this is probably my favorite character that's been added to Rivals so far, more than Daredevil. And I would say it's because it's the first actual support character they've added. Ultron was a DPS character in disguise. Actually, sorry, I don't mean to disrespect Invis. No disrespect to Invis. Invis did, though, feel more like a healer character with some smaller abilities. They have buffed the shit out of her, so she does feel more like a support. But Ultron was a DPS in disguise. The reason why, though, I was originally leading up to that saying Gambit was the first quote-unquote support lock-in was because Gambit, I would argue, outside of Mantis ult, is the first ult that you pop aggressively in this game in the support role. Everyone else is a defensive ult. Every single one of the rest of them is a defensive ult. You wait for someone else to do something first. It's boring. Sorry, it's not boring. It's not always boring, but it can be boring where like all you do every game is waiting for someone else to do something first. And so there's no, what's the word? When you're the first to do something, like your agency. There's no agency. But Gambit actually enables agency. So if your team is pushing hard and their team doesn't react and they stay forward, they don't like give space or they don't like look for a pick or something, you actually are rewarded for aggressive plays and taking the initiative, as opposed to sitting there and waiting, twiddling your thumbs, waiting to press your 10-second Luna ult, right? So Jeff, no, I mean, Rocket, you can kind of argue with like certain ults that you could combo them, but it is reactive though, right? Because there's two ways you can use Rocket ult. You can combo it with another ult to cut through with the damage boost, or you can use it as a defensive ult to survive other ults. Both of those are reactive. Gambit is actually proactive. Also, wait a minute, I'm doing the plug now, I don't care. Stream rewards, voting closes this week for Streamer Awards. If you think I deserve it and you enjoy my content, go vote for me for Marvel Rivals Streamer of the Year. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to be there. We're flying out next week. Next week we're flying out. So, yeah. If you're making me go all the way to LA, hey, we better bring it home. You know what I mean? Invis. I would say arguably the best support in the game. Maybe better than Gambit, actually. These two are these are both tied for number 1. They're both tied. Realistically, both tied for number 1. Like, I don't even think you could say one's better than the other, because Invis just has everything now. She's probably the best duelist in the game. She can win a 1v1 versus any DPS character. She's very good versus dive. She's good with poke. Her ult is obviously the same thing as like your Luna ults, right? Like a good defensive healing ult, but that's not like all she does, right? Like her healing's really good, her damage is really good because they buff the range of it. So like a lot of times you're actually doing damage and healing if you've got the shots lined up correctly. The self shield buff is crazy. Just being able to like literally give yourself a shield whenever you need to is truly unbelievable. If I get into a game and Invis isn't banned and my team doesn't play Invis, I pretty much know I've already lost. Like GG's. Like, unfortunately, it's legitimately GG's. Like I will fill Invis if I need to. Like if my other support players are not playing Invis and they don't know how, I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like it's not that hard. It's really not that hard, but it is what it is. Wait, I'm tripping. Is Flats' camera blurry? It is blurry. Why is it? Hello? There we go. Oh, how long was it like that? Jeff the Land Shark. So Jeff is still pretty strong. I wouldn't say he's OP though. He's taken a bit of a step back in some ways because triple support isn't getting played a ton, but he's still worthwhile on certain maps. More situational these days, though, than where he used to be, where you could just pick him every single game. It's just all the other supports kind of got buffed, and also the tanks got buffed, and the DPS got buffed, so you like triple support isn't as powerful. You know what's funny? I saw some tweet, man, I wish I saved it. I saw some tweet about somebody complaining about triple support, and it was basically like they were just showing the most common matchups in Rivals, and it was like, you know, 1-2-3, 2-2-2, right? And obviously there's like 2-1-3 as an option, and then there's 1-2-3, right? Triple support with 1 tank, 2 DPS, triple support with 2 tanks, 1 DPS. And those two had by far the lowest win rate. Like I think 1 tank triple support had like a 41% win rate. And somebody quoted that tweet with like, oh my God, 4,000 games of triple support. It's the most played comp in the game, right? And I'm sitting there like looking at it and I'm like, dude, yeah, because people are stupid and they haven't caught up to the meta yet, and they're just picking what they think is going to win the game and what's comforting. But like, they're going to lose because triple support's just not that good right now. But like, it got like, I think it ratioed the original tweet of people like, oh my God, people are playing triple support, it's meta. And I'm like, dude, do you see the win rate below it? It's horrible, you know? Loki. I think Loki's also like Adam. Pro play really good. But on ladder, just not that really good, unfortunately. He kind of gets farmed, you know? Like in really good, insane Loki players, A tier after buffs, but even after the buffs, like the buffs made him like from low tier to like mid tier, you know? Good against Spidey, yeah, but there's other things that are better, you know? It's not like he's bad, it's just, he's like Adam. He's not bad, just okay. Luna. All right, this might be crazy man hours. This might actually be legitimate crazy man hours. I think Luna fell off a cliff. I think Luna's garbage compared to everyone else right now. I would take a Cloak and Dagger over a Luna. Absolutely. I absolutely would. I'm telling you right now, I have to consistently coach my support players to stop picking Luna and pick Invis. Pick Gambit. And if they don't know how to play those, pick Rocket or pick Mantis, which we'll get to in a sec. Legitimately. Luna is not that good right now in ranked specifically. Really not. Okay, all of these are just C tier. If you really want me to make it feel better, sure, I'll put her on the left so it looks higher, okay? Luna ult, I'll be useless for 8 seconds and you won't die possibly. I don't know if I'd say it's useless. Like, Luna ult's still useful. It's a good ult. The problem is, right now, all the other supports offer a ton of utility. Luna's only utility is the freeze. And once you burn that, it's GR, right? That's it. That's all you got. She's not bringing anything else. The only other thing is putting a snowflake on your Star-Lord, I guess. But you could just play Mantis, which I was going to say Mantis. Mantis, at least in ranked, is an easy A tier. The problem, though, with Mantis is it's ranked. And so you're not going to get Mantis players a lot of times that know what they're doing fully. And that's where you talk about the triple support, right? You play like the Invis, Gambit, Mantis, right? Or you play Invis, Mantis. Gambit, Mantis, I'm not too sure on. I don't think is the right play. I don't think I've seen much of that. Regardless, though, people have started to understand how powerful Mantis is. Her ult is pretty decent, but the big thing is her damage boost. Just constant damage boost, constant uptime of her own damage, and also she farms it pretty quick. And also sleep is super valuable. Like, arguably, probably the best anti-dive slash CC tool in the whole game. The only problem is if your teammates wake it up. Rockets. Rocket's also going up here. Rocket's going up here with Mantis. I'd say Rocket's probably third or fourth best support right now in the game. 40% damage boost is disgusting. You're farming it pretty quick. He survives well versus dive. Hell, that extra damage buff, or not buff, the rate of fire buff. Good lord. You don't see it very often, but every once in a while you see it a little bit. Not something I'd want every game. But that plus his BRB is super valuable right now. So much so that I've actually started to see like the top tier ranked players, like the people who don't have like a huge platform, like big ranked players or like maybe like pro players that are like not super popular, start talking about like it could be a little too broken to have and like calling for nerfs, which I think is funny as shit. Because one, that shouldn't happen, but two, it's funny, Rocket's BRB has always been around, and everyone always thought like Rocket's ass, which was true. But now like one of the things that actually made him not turbo ass at the time was that, and now that he's not turbo ass and he's actually pretty decent in a lot of cases, it's like, oh, the res is too strong. So it's, I don't know, it's real interesting. But yeah, if you want to win every game, just play Gambit Invis. But if you have Invis banned or Gambit banned, Rocket's a pretty good backup. Last but not least is our least favorite, flyer, Ultron. That guy's buns. That guy's actual butt cheeks. Actual butt cheeks. He's just, that's it. He sucks balls. Not much else to really say about that one. There's nothing good about him. His healing sucks. His damage isn't even that good compared to other things. He's a waste of a team slot. Triple support's not worth it. Ult takes too long to build now. Probably worst character in the game, actually. Outside of Bronze. I think in Bronze, he probably has like a top 3, top 5 win rate. Outside of Bronze, he has probably the lowest win rate in the game. Flats, my win rate on Black Widow is 55%. She's not F, LOL. The fact that you just brought that up makes me think you were like Silver. Unironically. Because like, what in the logic is that? Anyways, regardless. Gotta do this as always. Get your bitch ass back to the beginning and watch the whole damn thing. Don't you dare skip to the end, because you're not gonna know all the nuance. You're gonna see some shit on here that you don't understand, like the Luna NC, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, why the f is that there? Why is that there? Well, I explained why it's there, asshole, but you skipped all the way to the end. So go back and watch from the beginning. Anyways, yeah, there you go. There's our season 5 tier list. Sorry it was a little bit later this season, but there you go.